Yes, plaintiff calls defendant Cardi B as a hostile witness.
Thank you.
Ma'am, may I please have Ms. Denver next to the court. You solemnly state that the testimony you may give and the calls now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I personally feel like if there's no physical touch, there is no incident. There was a verbal altercation. If you think that that's an incident, a verbal altercation, then it's an incident for you. But we both have different opinions. It's a verbal altercation. She didn't hit me, I didn't hit her. There was no touch. So to me, it wasn't no incident.
Was there spitting?
Absolutely not.
Did you spit on Miss Ellis?
No.
Did you call her the N-word?
No.
The word on the street is Cardi B just caught heat in court, and now allegedly a leaked jail footage has got the internet losing it.
To 270 women.
The Bronx superstar just wrapped testifying in a messy civil case where her ex-security guard wants $24 million over some 2018 Beverly Hills drama. But here's the wild part. Clips have popped up showing someone who looks like Cardi rocking County Orange. Real or cap? Nobody knows. From assault claims to pregnancy drama, now possibly jail time, this could flip Cardi's whole world upside down. In Chapter 1, the footage that's breaking the internet. Right after Cardi's testimony wrapped up on August 27, 2025, some wild footage started making rounds on social media that had everybody's jaw on the floor. The video, which first popped up on a random Twitter account around 6 p.m. that evening, supposedly showed Cardi B in Orange County jail attire being processed at a Los Angeles detention facility. The 47-second clip spread faster than wildfire. Within 2 hours, it had over 3 million views and was trending #1 on Twitter with hashtag Cardi jail footage. The video showed a woman who looked similar to Cardi from behind, wearing standard orange jail scrubs, getting her fingerprints taken. You could hear muffled voices in the background, and at one point, the woman turned slightly toward the camera, giving a partial side profile that had people swearing it was really her. But here's where things get suspicious as hell. First off, no credible news outlet could verify the source of this footage. It just appeared out of nowhere on an account with no followers that was created the same day. The account, at Justice Watch 2025, posted the video with the caption, "Breaking, Cardi B processed at LA County Jail following court appearance. More details coming soon." Then the account went ghost deleted within hours. What really got people's detective mode activated was the timing.
Cardi, what's up, mommy? We outside.
Cardi was photographed leaving the courthouse at 4:17 p.m. by multiple paparazzi. She was wearing the same all-black outfit from court, got in her Escalade with her security, and supposedly headed home. But this jail footage was time-stamped at 5:33 p.m. That's only an hour and 16 minutes later. Anyone who knows LA traffic knows you can't get from downtown court to county jail, get processed, changed, and fingerprinted in that time frame. The math wasn't mathing at all. Cardi's team initially stayed quiet, which only made the speculation worse. The bars and other fandoms were having a field day, posting memes and jokes about Cardi finally facing consequences. But Cardi's own fan base, the Barty Gang, went into full investigation mode. They started analyzing every frame of that footage like a scene from CSI. One fan noticed that the height markers in the background suggested the woman in the video was about 5 feet 6 inches, but Cardi is known to be 5 feet 3 inches. Another pointed out that the hand getting fingerprint had short nails, while Cardi had posted a picture of her fresh, long acrylic set just that morning. The inconsistencies started piling up quick. By midnight, Cardi finally broke her silence with a series of tweets that had everybody dying. She posted, "Y'all really thought I went from court to jail to my house to post this tweet? Make it make sense," with 3 laughing emojis, followed by the ghetto. "Y'all will believe anything. I'm literally in my bed watching Netflix eating ice cream. Free me from what?" But the damage was already done. Major blog sites had picked up the story, running headlines like "Cardi B allegedly arrested following court testimony" and "Breaking new footage shows rapper being processed." Even after Cardi denied it, the conspiracy theories kept flowing. What's wild is that some forensic video experts started weighing in on social media. One verified expert on TikTok broke down why the footage seemed manipulated. He said the lighting and cuts looked soused, movements looked sliced, then came the receipts that really shut down the rumors. Cardi's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, released a statement the next morning. These fabricated videos are a deliberate attempt to defame my client and interfere with ongoing legal proceedings. Ms. Almanzar was not arrested, detained, or processed at any correctional facility. We are investigating the source of this fraudulent footage and will pursue all legal remedies. The conversation shifted to who would create fake footage and why. Some speculated it was Ellis's camp trying to paint Cardi as a criminal before the case concluded. Others thought it might be rival fan bases trying to manifest her downfall. There were even theories that it was a distraction from something bigger going down in the case. What nobody talks about is how this fake footage actually helped Cardi's case in the court of public opinion. The obvious fabrication made people question Ellis's entire narrative. If someone was willing to create fake jail footage, what else were they willing to lie about? The street started seeing this as part of a larger campaign to take Cardi down. The whole incident exposed how easy it is to manipulate public perception in the social media age. Within hours, millions of people believed Cardi was in jail based on nothing but a grainy video from an anonymous account. Even after it was debunked, some people still insisted it was real and that Cardi's team was covering it up. This fake footage drama overshadowed what actually happened in court that day, Cardi's strong testimony and the witnesses backing up her version of events. Instead of headlines about how the case against her was falling apart, everyone was talking about whether she was in jail or not. Chapter 2, the lawsuit that started everything. The whole situation that got Cardi B dragged into court goes back to February 24, 2018, when she rolled up to a Beverly Hills OB/GYN office for a routine pregnancy checkup. What should have been a regular doctor's visit turned into the type of drama that's now threatening to cost her millions. See, Cardi was 4 months pregnant with Kulcha at the time, dealing with all the stress that comes with carrying your first child while being one of the hottest rappers in the game.
And so she did, angrily putting her finger in my face and yelling at me. You see that?
I stepped out of the elevator to clarify.
And you told her, say that again, right?
I don't remember saying say that again.
And your testimony was that you and Cardi B yelled at each other for 30 seconds?
She yelled at me. My voice was firm because I was upset.
You testified in your deposition that Cardi B spit at you after the other people came out of the doctor's office. Isn't that correct?
She did.
Move to strike as non-responsive. You testified at your deposition under oath. You said at that point that Cardi B spit at you after the other people came to intervene in the argument. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
And yet in the report, you state, I advised Cardi B that she needed to get her finger out of my face because I had not did anything to her. She then responded by spit at me. That's how it's spelled. And as a result, I became angry and yelled out to her to leave me alone and go on about her business. A few moments later, I remember a few people coming out and trying to separate us. That's what you said in your email, correct? 2 days after.
Correct.
The security guard at the center of all this mess is Emani Ellis, who was working the Beverly Hills Medical Building that day. According to Ellis and her legal team, what went down was straight up assault. She claims that Cardi didn't just get loud, she allegedly got physical, scratching Ellis's face with those signature long nails, spitting on her, and going off with a barrage of insults that would make a sailor blush. Ellis is painting a picture of an out-of-control celebrity who thought she could put hands on regular working people without consequences. But here's where the story gets interesting. The way Ellis tells it, she was just doing her job, trying to maintain order in a medical facility when Cardi supposedly snapped. She's basically throwing the whole legal book at Cardi. And the price tag for all this alleged trauma, a cool $23.7 million in damages. What's suspicious is the timeline of this whole lawsuit. The incident went down in 2018, but Ellis didn't file this civil suit until years later, in 2023. That's a 5-year gap. Asking questions. Why wait so long if the assault was so traumatic? Some folks in Cardi's camp are saying this is nothing but a money grab, trying to capitalize on Cardi's success and deeper pockets now that she's established herself as not just a rapper, but a whole business empire. The lawsuit details paint a wild scene. Ellis claims that during the altercation, Cardi used her pregnancy as a shield while still being the aggressor. According to the filing, Cardi allegedly said something like, "I'm pregnant, I can do whatever I want," before launching into the attack. Ellis says she was left with physical injuries, emotional distress, and couldn't even do her job properly after that day. But Cardi's legal team came into that courtroom ready for war. They're calling Ellis's version of events straight cap, arguing that this is a clear case of someone trying to come up on a check by targeting a successful woman. From jump, Cardi's team been calling out the holes, no solid evidence, and Ellie's story keeps changing every time she tells it.
Isn't it correct? You don't have that phone, right? You no longer have that phone. You disposed of it. You can't show us that phone and show that you don't have any photographs or videos of Cardi B. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
The medical building where all this went down is in one of the bougiest parts of Beverly Hills, where celebrities go specifically for privacy and discretion. The fact that drama popped off in a place like that already had people side-eyeing the situation. These high-end medical facilities got cameras everywhere, security protocols, and staff trained to handle celebrity clients. So how did things allegedly get so out of hand? What makes this even messier is that Cardi was there for prenatal care. Any woman who's been pregnant knows those appointments can be stressful, especially when you're in the public eye and trying to keep your pregnancy on the low. Cardi hadn't even officially announced she was expecting at that point, so she was probably already on edge about privacy and people potentially leaking her business. Ellis's lawyer, Daniel Shulkiewicz, has been going hard in the media trying to paint his client as a victim of celebrity privilege. He's been dropping statements about how nobody is above the law and how his client deserves justice regardless of who the defendant is. But every time he speaks, it sounds more like he's trying the case in the court of public opinion than in the actual courtroom. The specific allegations are wild when you break them down. False imprisonment. That means Ellis is claiming Cardi somehow prevented her from leaving or moving freely in a medical building where Ellis was a security. But Matt ain't mathing on that one. Then there's the emotional distress claim. Ellis is saying this one incident from 2018 messed her up so bad she needs nearly $24 million to make it right. Real talk, the timing of this lawsuit is what's got the streets talking. Cardi's been winning left and right. Grammy wins, sold out tours, major brand deals, successful business ventures. Her net worth has shot up crazy since 2018. It's hard not to look at this case and wonder if Ellis and her legal team saw dollar signs and decided to shoot their shot. But what nobody expected was for this case to blow up the way it did once it hit the courtroom. The testimony, the evidence, and especially what happened after. It's all got people questioning what's really going on with Cardi's legal situation right now. Chapter 3, Inside the Courtroom. When Cardi B walked into that Los Angeles County Superior Court on August 26, 2025, she wasn't playing around. Dressed in all black, she looked like she was ready for business. The courtroom was packed with media, fans, and legal observers, all waiting to see how the Bronx rapper would handle herself under oath. From the jump, Cardi's testimony was direct and unwavering. She admitted that, yeah, there was a verbal altercation. She never denied that voices were raised and words were exchanged. But when it came to the physical allegations...
Was there? Yes or no?
No.
So she didn't touch you, correct?
No.
So if somebody comes here and testifies that she did do something to you physically, you disagree with that testimony, or you will, correct?
She didn't touch me.
Okay.
She didn't get to touch me, no. She was going to touch me, but she didn't get to touch me.
Did you at any time see a scar on Miss Emani Ellis's face, or a cut, or a scrape, at any time during the time of the incident?
No. And she couldn't get a scratch from me because I didn't touch her.
I understand that's what you're saying. I get it.
Cardi shut that down completely. She testified under oath that she never laid a finger on Emani Ellis, never scratched her with any nails, and definitely never spat on anybody. What really stood out was how Cardi kept bringing it back to her pregnancy. She told the court, "I was 4 months pregnant with my first child. I wasn't about to risk my baby getting into no physical altercation with nobody." The cross-examination got heated when Ellis's lawyer tried to paint Cardi as someone with a history of violence, bringing up her past legal issues. But Cardi's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, wasn't having it. He objected left and right, keeping the focus on what actually happened that day in 2018, not trying to relitigate Cardi's whole life story. Then came the witness testimony that really shifted the momentum in Cardi's favor. First up was the receptionist who was working at the OB/GYN office that day. This woman had no stake in the game, no reason to lie for anybody. She testified that while she heard raised voices and saw both women being animated, she never witnessed any physical contact between them. She specifically said she didn't see Cardi strike, scratch, or spit on Ellis. But the real knockout punch came from Dr. David Finke, the OB/GYN, who was actually treating Cardi that day. Dr. Finke's testimony was devastating to Ellis's case. He told the court that he came out of the examination room when he heard the commotion and saw both women in a heated verbal exchange, but at no point did I observe Mrs. Almanzar, Cardi's real name, become physically violent with anyone.
Did you see on her face any scratches?
No.
Did you see on her face any cuts?
None.
Did you see on her face any blood?
No.
Did you see any injury at all on her face that day?
None.
And did you see spit or spittle or any other fluid on her, anywhere on her?
No.
The security footage became a major point of contention. Ellis's team claimed the cameras didn't capture the actual altercation, which seemed convenient as hell. But Cardi's team flipped that, arguing that in a high-end Beverly Hills medical building, there's no way cameras would miss an actual physical assault. They suggested the reason there's no footage of an attack is because no attack happened. During the break-in proceedings, the energy outside the courtroom was wild. Cardi's fans had showed up in force, holding signs saying, "Free Cardi" and "We believe Barty." But what really got people talking was when someone leaked that Ellis had allegedly tried to shop her story to media outlets before filing the lawsuit. That information didn't make it into the official testimony, but it was all over social media by lunchtime. The afternoon session got even more interesting when Cardi's team presented evidence about Ellis's work history. Without getting into details that the judge ruled inadmissible, let's just say there were questions about Ellis's record as a security guard and whether she had a pattern of certain behaviors with other clients. What really had people shook was when Cardi broke down the actual interaction from her perspective. She explained that the argument started because Ellis was being aggressive and disrespectful from the moment she arrived. According to Cardi, Ellis made comments about her appearance, questioned why she was there, and generally acted like she had a problem with Cardi from the jump. Cardi testified, "I'm hormonal, I'm pregnant, I'm trying to see my doctor in peace, and this woman is coming at me sideways for no reason. Yes, I raised my voice. Yes, I told her about herself, but I never touched that woman. Never." The judge had to call for order multiple times during the testimony, especially when Cardi's supporters couldn't contain themselves after particularly compelling moments. At one point, when Cardi described how scared she was for her unborn baby during the confrontation, several people in the gallery audibly gasped. Ellis's team tried to introduce character witnesses who would speak to their client's trauma following the incident, but Cardi's lawyers successfully argued that without concrete evidence of physical assault, emotional distress claims were speculative at best. The judge seemed to agree, limiting the scope of what these witnesses could testify about.
Thank you, and what was that opinion?
My opinion is that there is no significant evidence that Ms. Ellis sustained an emotional injury at any point in time in this case, from the time of the incident to present, with the understanding that an emotional injury, from my standpoint, consists of the onset of one or more psychiatric diagnoses in accordance with the American Psychiatric Association's guidelines or criteria, or the substantial worsening if there was a pre-existing disorder, and that in my opinion, Ms. Ellis has never qualified for that in this case.
By the end of the day, court observers were noting that Ellis's case seemed to be falling apart. The lack of physical evidence, the contradicting witness testimonies, and Cardi's composed performance on the stand all painted a picture very different from the violent assault Ellis had described in her lawsuit. But nobody was prepared for what allegedly happened after Cardi left that courtroom. Chapter 4, The Real Truth. Fast forward to where we're at now, August 30th, 2025, and the real story of Cardi B's legal situation is way different from what those fake videos had people believing. Truth is, Cardi's been moving like a boss through this whole ordeal, and the case is actually looking better for her than ever. After that wild first day of testimony and the fake footage fiasco, the trial continued with more witnesses taking the stand. This time, Ellis's team brought their own people, but it didn't go as they planned. Their star witness was supposed to be another security guard who worked at the building, but under cross-examination, she admitted he wasn't even on that floor when the alleged incident happened. She heard about it secondhand and couldn't corroborate any of Ellis's claims about physical violence.
I don't remember word for word, but based off of our conversation, I assumed that was probably going to be one of her steps. But in my mind, I was kind of shocked that she was calling based off of what took place. I figured she was at fault, so that was surprising that she would call me.
Okay. Thank you. Those are all the questions I have for you.
What's really telling is that Ellis herself seemed shaky when she had to face Cardi's attorneys. During her deposition, which was played for the court, she contradicted herself multiple times about key details.
If you could please look at pages 5 and 6. The plaintiff has no emails related to this lawsuit.
Are you asking me about this email on the paper?
I'm asking you about the response. You made a discovery in this case stating that under oath you have no emails that relate to this incident. Is that
That's
correct?
correct. I don't have access to this email anymore.
Okay.
First, she said Cardi scratched her face, then it was her arm, then back to her face. She couldn't keep her story straight about whether Cardi spit on her once or multiple times. These inconsistencies had the jury looking sideways.
At your deposition, you specifically testified that you were not scratched on your nose that day, you were scratched on your cheek.
She touched my nose, but she scratched my cheek.
Okay, but in the incident report, you state scratching my nose, right? You have to answer audibly.
Yes, I'm sorry.
And in fact, you demonstrated at the deposition how Cardi B supposedly was nose to nose with you, but jabbed your cheek. Is that true?
Yes.
And if we could show that. This is a video of the deposition where plaintiff demonstrates how she was supposedly scratched on the cheek.
Here's what's suspicious. Throughout all of this, Ellis hasn't produced a single medical record from 2018 showing treatment for these alleged injuries. You telling me someone scratched your face with long nails and spit on you, causing $24 million worth of damage, but you didn't go to a doctor, didn't take pictures, didn't file a police report that day? The evidence just wasn't there. Meanwhile, Cardi's been handling her business outside of court too. She's still booked and busy with shows lined up through the spring. Her team made sure to note that if she was really facing jail time or serious legal consequences, would venues still be booking her? Would brands still be working with her? The answer is hell no, and everybody knows it. Real talk, what this whole situation exposed is how vulnerable celebrities are to these kinds of lawsuits. You can be minding your business, going to a doctor's appointment while pregnant, and years later someone can come out the woodwork trying to get a bag off some alleged incident. The fact that it took 5 years for Ellis to file this suit right when Cardi's at her richest and most successful tells you everything you need to know. As of right now, Cardi remains free, unbothered, and focused on her career. She's been posting normally on social media, working on new music, and living her life while her lawyers handle the legal stuff. The trial is set to resume on September 2nd, 2025, with closing arguments expected soon after. Legal analysts are predicting either a dismissal, a verdict in Cardi's favor, or a small settlement that lets everyone move on. What they're not predicting? Any jail time or criminal charges. Because this is a civil case about money, not a criminal case about freedom. But the bigger conversation this whole thing started is about how we consume and spread information in the social media age. One fake video had millions of people convinced that Cardi B was in jail, even though a simple Google search would have shown no credible news outlet reporting an arrest. It shows how quick people are to believe the worst, especially about successful women who came from nothing. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and click on any of the boxes on your screen to watch another video.